Number 10. Halloween 2018. 40 years after the original massacre, Laurie Strode prepares to face Michael Myers once again when he escapes from captivity and returns to Haddonfield. Serving as a direct sequel to the 1978 original, Halloween 2018 successfully rebooted the franchise, ignoring previous sequels and providing a fresh take on the story. Jamie Lee Curtis's return as Laurie Strode added depth and continuity, while the film's modern sensibilities and respect for the original pleased both new audiences and longtime fans. The success of this reboot demonstrated the enduring appeal of the slasher genre. This sequel respects the original while offering a fresh take, with Jamie Lee Curtis delivering a strong performance that adds depth to Laurie Strode. It effectively uses suspense and callbacks to the original, successfully rebooting the franchise for a new generation. Some may find the film relies too heavily on nostalgia and references to the original. The plot can feel predictable as it follows familiar slasher tropes, and certain characters and subplots are underdeveloped. Number 9. Candyman 1992. Graduate student Helen Lyle investigates the urban legend of Candyman, a hook-handed killer who appears when his name is spoken 5 times in a mirror. Candyman blended urban legend with social commentary, addressing themes of race, class, and gentrification. Tony Todd's portrayal of Candyman added a new dimension to the slasher villain, combining charisma and menace. The film's atmospheric tension and exploration of deeper societal issues set it apart from other slashers of its time. Candyman intertwines strong social commentary with horror elements, featuring Todd's charismatic and menacing portrayal of the titular character. The film's atmospheric direction and exploration of themes like race, class, and urban decay set it apart. The pacing can be slow, focusing on building atmosphere over action. Some effects and makeup might seem dated, and its complex themes might not satisfy those seeking straightforward slasher fare. Number 8. Child's Play 1988. A serial killer's soul inhabits a good guy doll named Chucky, who then terrorizes a young boy and his family. Child's Play added a unique twist to the slasher genre with its use of a possessed doll as the antagonist. Chucky, voiced by Brad Dourif, became a cultural icon and spawned a successful franchise. The film combined elements of supernatural horror with traditional slasher motifs, expanding the possibilities of the genre. This film's unique premise of a killer doll adds a fresh twist to the genre, with Brad Dourif's voice work as Chucky becoming iconic. It effectively blends horror and dark humor, featuring creative and memorable death scenes. The special effects, especially those involving Chucky's movements, can seem dated. The premise might seem too fantastical for some viewers, and some supporting characters lack depth. Number 7. Black Christmas. During the Christmas holidays, a group of sorority sisters are stalked and murdered by a mysterious killer who makes disturbing phone calls. Black Christmas is one of the earliest films to incorporate the killer-in-the-house trope, which later became a staple in the genre. Its atmosphere of dread and tension, combined with the use of first-person perspective shots, influenced many subsequent slasher films. The film's blend of holiday cheer and horror created a unique and unsettling experience. Black Christmas effectively uses first-person perspective shots to build tension, blending holiday cheer and horror. The film features strong performances, particularly by Olivia Hussey and Margot Kidder. Some subplots and characters are underdeveloped, the pacing can be uneven, and the ending leaves some questions unresolved, which might frustrate viewers. Number 6. Psycho. Marion Crane steals money from her employer and checks into the secluded Bates Motel, where she meets the mysterious Norman Bates. Often considered the precursor to the modern slasher film, Psycho broke new ground with its shocking plot twists, particularly the infamous shower scene. Alfred Hitchcock's masterful direction and the film's psychological complexity set a high bar for the genre. Norman Bates, portrayed by Anthony Perkins, became one of the most iconic characters in film history. Psycho is masterfully directed by Hitchcock, with groundbreaking plot twists and innovative storytelling. Anthony Perkins delivers a strong performance as Norman Bates, and the film elevated the psychological thriller aspect within the horror genre. Some elements may feel dated compared to modern horror standards, the pacing might be slow for viewers accustomed to faster narratives, and the limited on-screen violence might not satisfy fans of more graphic horror. Number 5. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A group of friends falls victim to a family of cannibals in rural Texas, with the chainsaw-wielding Leatherface as their primary attacker. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is known for its gritty, almost documentary-style approach, which heightened the sense of realism and terror. Its raw depiction of violence and horror influenced countless films that followed. The film's low-budget, guerrilla filmmaking style proved that intense horror could be created without a large budget. This film's raw, gritty atmosphere enhances the horror experience, with innovative use of practical effects and minimal gore to create terror. Leatherface and his family are deeply unsettling antagonists, and the realistic portrayal of violence influenced countless subsequent films. The low budget results in some rough production values. The relentless intensity might be overwhelming for some viewers, and there is limited character development outside of the main antagonists. Number 4. Scream 1996. The town of Woodsboro is terrorized by a masked killer known as Ghostface, who targets teenagers while adhering to horror movie rules and cliches. Scream revitalized the slasher genre by incorporating meta-commentary on horror tropes and conventions. The film's self-awareness and clever writing resonated with audiences, leading to a resurgence of interest in slasher films. It also sparked a new wave of teen horror movies and solidified Craven's reputation as a master of the genre. Scream features a clever and self-aware script that deconstructs horror tropes, with strong performances from Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox. It successfully blends horror and dark comedy, revitalizing interest in the slasher genre during the 1990s. The meta approach may not appeal to horror purists who prefer traditional narratives, and some of the humor and references might feel dated to contemporary audiences. Number 3. Friday the 13th. Camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake are stalked and murdered by an unknown assailant. The film culminates in the revelation of the killer's identity and motivations. Friday the 13th was pivotal in cementing the summer camp setting as a common backdrop for slasher films. It introduced Jason Voorhees, though as a child and not the primary antagonist in the first film, laying the groundwork for a long-running franchise. The film's use of graphic violence and suspenseful build-ups became hallmarks of the genre. It established the summer camp setting as a popular backdrop for slasher films, with effective use of suspense and surprise. Its practical effects and makeup are impressive for the time, and it laid the groundwork for the Jason Voorhees character. However, the film lacks a strong central character or clear protagonist, has a relatively straightforward plot derivative of earlier films, and its violence might be seen as gratuitous by some viewers. Number 2. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Teenagers in the small town of Springwood are stalked and killed in their dreams by the disfigured Freddy Krueger, who uses a glove armed with razors. A Nightmare on Elm Street introduced a supernatural element to the slasher genre. Freddy Krueger's ability to kill through dreams blurred the lines between reality and the supernatural, creating a new avenue for horror storytelling. The film's success led to a franchise and solidified Robert Englund's Freddy as a horror icon. This film introduces a unique and terrifying concept of a killer who attacks in dreams, with Robert Englund's portrayal of Freddy Krueger becoming iconic. It effectively blends supernatural elements with traditional slasher tropes and features creative and memorable death scenes. Some of the special effects, though innovative at the time, may seem dated, and the acting and dialogue can be campy, which might not appeal to all viewers. Number 1. Halloween 1978. On Halloween night, Michael Myers escapes from a mental institution and returns to his hometown to continue his killing spree, targeting babysitter Laurie Strode. This film is credited with popularizing many of the tropes of the slasher genre, such as the final girl and the use of a masked, unstoppable killer. Carpenter's masterful use of suspense, along with the iconic score he composed, cemented Halloween as a classic. The film's low budget and high return also demonstrated the profitability of slasher films. As mentioned, Halloween pioneered many slasher genre conventions, including the final girl trope and the masked, unstoppable killer. John Carpenter's direction and iconic score create a suspenseful atmosphere, and Jamie Lee Curtis delivers a strong performance as Laurie Strode. Michael Myers stands out as a memorable and enduring villain. The film's pacing may seem slow compared to modern horror movies, and its low budget results in some dated special effects. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video.